The battle between Goku and Vegeta reaches its end. Vegeta had just been crushed by the Uzaru Gohan. Krillin is the only one on his feet, but just barely. Vegeta summons his space pod, to which Krillin intends to kill the evil space warrior, and this is where the change of events drastically changes in Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta begins to show no fear of his death and tells Krillin to hurry up and do it. Strike him down. If he's going to die like a warrior on the battlefield after giving his all. Goku interrupts Krillin and explains why he should let Vegeta live, but Vegeta overhears Krillin mumbling and says that merciful garbage will not save them in the grand scale of things. They are all done for. And this is the end of the Great Saiyan race because that clown Kakarot has no chance to make a difference. Goku hears this and looks over wondering what Vegeta is talking about whilst Krillin is struggling to make a decision. But Vegeta is not pulling himself into the space pod. He is waiting for his death like the prince he is, accepting it's over. However, Goku shouts to Vegeta to tell him what he meant by that. "It's Frieza, you fool. Don't you get it? You thought I was a challenge, but you'll get bulldozed, and the entire legacy of the Saiyan race dies with a low-class mockery like yourself. I am the one who was supposed to put an end to Frieza's reign, but now it seems that day is not meant to be. And he knows of this Earth, and the Dragon Balls on a distant planet, so it's only a matter of time before he turns up here, immortal, and slaughter every last one of you." Goku looks concerned and realizes that could be a major problem in the long run if he doesn't act on it. He asks who this Frieza is and if he's done bad things, and Vegeta summarized it quickly, that he is under his orders and is a tyrant, the most evil being in the universe, and shows no mercy to innocents. But Vegeta needed the immortality to stand a chance against Frieza, to use his Saiyan abilities to grow stronger without dying. Goku mentions that he was eager to face Vegeta again in battle to settle the score, but now with this Frieza guy in the picture, it seems there were even more challenges he could not wait to face. This is where North Kai intervenes and tells Goku to stop being ridiculous. That is something he should not be considering, and Goku dismisses the idea knowing full well he's not in the right condition, but starts to worry about what Vegeta said and realizes the whole planet could be in danger if not 1 month from now, a year, 10 years. Eventually, Frieza will come, and apparently none of them are ready for him. Vegeta tells him to hurry up and kill him, if that's what's going to happen, but Krillin throws the sword away. Goku shouts, "Hey Vegeta, I have a proposal. If we could stop him together, would you cancel terrorizing this planet?" Vegeta struggles to laugh due to his pain and tells Kakarot that they have a very slim chance to defeat Frieza if they were to team up, but he would never align himself with a low-class scum like Kakarot after what he's just done to his elite body, because the first thing he's going to do if he heals up is kill Kakarot. But after he said this, Vegeta fell unconscious before getting into the space pod, and Goku is left unsure about what to do next. Reinforcements arrive to escort Goku and everyone to safety and begin the healing process. But before they get on board the ship, Goku tells Bulma that Vegeta is over there and he's going to die if he's left there. Vegeta needed life support fast. There was no way he was going to just bounce back in a few hours and kill everyone. They were all unsure about the functionality of the space pod, so that option was out at the moment. This ultimately, and with great risk, led to Goku making a decision to request taking Vegeta with them to heal up, to which they all thought Goku was mad, naturally. But he assured them that if he can heal up first and get a Senzu Bean, then he will keep an eye on Vegeta before he wakes up, and try to talk to him, because there's a greater threat out there. The enemy of my enemy is my friend after all. This was a huge risk, but what choice does Goku have if this Frieza guy could head to Earth and kill everyone? Goku's intention was to see if there was any chance he could use Vegeta's power to help him deal with a greater threat. It would be a huge risk as Vegeta is still in the most reckless phase of his life, but again, what choice did Goku have? Ignoring this Frieza now would be living a lie until the devastating day finally arrives. And so 39 days pass and the events of Goku's recovery takes place, but due to Vegeta having no advanced life support in the Saiyan space pod and no healing chamber on the planet he originally went to, he still remains bedridden and completely out of the picture because Earth's medical facilities were inferior to the healing technology the Frieza Force had at their disposal. Vegeta's recovery on Earth could take months before he even comes through, as he was severely beaten nearly to death by Earth's heroes. Goku and Vegeta's beds were right next to each other, where the healing Goku could keep an eye on Vegeta, in case he tries anything. But the prince's power was worryingly low. There was thoughts he may not even make it. The events of Dragon Ball Z would continue as normal, with Krillin, Gohan and Bulma arriving on Namek with the intention of bringing their friends back after Nappa and the Cybermen killed them. Master Roshi arrives and informs Goku of the news that Bulma relayed from Namek that there are 10 space warriors who are much stronger than Vegeta there, killing the Namekians, and probably them next. Goku manages to get the Senzu Bean from Yajirobe and heals up nicely, to which he feels his new surge in power levels. The Zenkai boost worked. The Saiyan cells within him would generate a new power. He did not give one to Vegeta for obvious reasons, but now the worry would begin. Goku needed to get to Namek to help Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma. He had a feeling that it could be that Frieza guy Vegeta warned him about. Goku heads to Dr. Brief to see the spaceship he modified from Goku's space pod as a kid, but a big change had occurred. Vegeta's space pod was also recovered as he didn't use it to retreat. The other space pod has still been destroyed by Bulma by accident. But because 2 space pods were used to customize a new spaceship, the ship was powered up even more, and much faster. And instead of the 6-day duration that it would take to get to Namek, it had been reduced to 5 days. This meant Goku could get to Namek much sooner than in the original story, and the difference this would make would be catastrophic. However, at this time, due to Vegeta not being on planet Namek, he would not have engaged Kiwi. Instead, the moment Frieza decided to head to planet Namek, he commanded Kiwi a while ago to locate this Earth and Vegeta, to go there and kill him because he fears Vegeta is becoming rebellious and did not want him interfering with his wish for immortality. To his delight, Kiwi accepted, and now, his space pod just plummeted through the atmosphere of Earth and landed near West City. He looks at the environment and spits on the ground, calling it a disgusting wasteland. He activates his scouter, but he wouldn't be able to find Vegeta's power because it was far too low in his condition. However, he did detect another power level close by, of approximately 7,000, and assumed it had to be Vegeta. He dashes over there and lands near Capsule Corporation, to which he sees the warrior Goku, looking rather relaxed, as Goku had already detected Kiwi the moment he approached Earth. Kiwi arrogantly demands who Goku was and where Vegeta was, and if he doesn't tell him, he will murder every last person around until he begs him to stop. Goku's face gets serious, and looks at Kiwi and tells him that he recognizes that outfit, and that's not a good sign for this planet. He must be working for that Frieza guy, and he's sick of people just showing up here thinking they can do whatever they want. Goku tells him to leave, or he'll throw him off this planet instead. Kiwi laughs and tells Goku his pitiful 7,000 power level is no match for his approximately 18,000. Goku smiles and says you have no idea. Suddenly, an explosive burst of power erupts, and Goku dashes to Kiwi and gives him a gut punch, making Kiwi fall to his knees. His scouter surged to 14,000 as Goku was revealing his true base power. Kiwi jumps up and goes for a ferocious ki-based assault, and Goku worries about the safety of the people near Capsule Corp, so taps into a Kaioken ×2, deflects the blasts with precision to nearby mountains, and charges at Kiwi with a power level of 28,000. An explosive knee to the balls. Double axe handle to the ground, but before Kiwi hits the ground, Goku moves quickly to catch Kiwi by his lower spine. The same thing he did to Nappa. He was no match for the rejuvenated Kakarot and his Kaioken ×2. Kiwi gargles. Who are you? And the reply was, my name is Goku, and I'm a Saiyan from Earth. Now to send you back where you came from. Goku flies with Kiwi to the wasteland he detected him landing at, and puts him back in his space pod. Kiwi gargles a little more. Frieza knows. You're all dead. Goku randomly hits a few buttons not knowing what he was doing, and in seconds the space pod door started to shut. It launched up high as if it was going to soar through the atmosphere, but instead it exploded. Kiwi was dead. Goku looks up in shock at the metal falling from the sky. I guess I should have read the instructions first. But the circumstances were getting far more interesting. That entire transmission of Goku was sent directly to Frieza, and Frieza smiles. Setting Earth at a much higher priority after Namek had been visited. Earth was in even more danger than normal, and Frieza was more interested in the whereabouts of Vegeta and this new Saiyan with an odd name called Goku. Goku realizes the seriousness of this situation and believes more fighters will head to this planet, and it's in much more danger than ever. He flies off to the hospital with a determined look on his face, and walks up to the bedside of the unconscious Vegeta, with a Senzu Bean in his one hand and a glass of water in his other. Yes, even Goku realizes that someone KO'd would struggle to consume a Senzu Bean. What incredible stories will happen next? Just what is Goku thinking? How is Vegeta going to react? And will they travel to planet Namek together? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. And so, we find ourselves at the hospital where Vegeta is slowly coming through after escaping near death. Goku stands beside him and awaits for Vegeta to wake up, which won't be too long. Within the hour, the Saiyan Prince wakes up and he sees the low-level scum Kakarot by his bedside. With the breathing mask on, Goku hears a mumble. Kakarot, what the hell? Easy, Vegeta, you're alive, but I need you to listen to me. This is important. Vegeta, struggling to hold on, says,
Go to hell, Kakarot. I'd rather die than do anything for you.
Well, you're not far from that, but we have a problem. Not just me, but you too. I was just ambushed at Capsule Corporation by an intruder to this planet, and he was looking for you, Vegeta, a guy who called himself Kiwi or something. Mean anything to you? Vegeta's eyes widen.
What? Kiwi? But that means he was looking for me, to keep tabs on me for that bastard Frieza.
Vegeta begins to anger.
Where is he, Kakarot?
Goku tells Vegeta that Kiwi took the nearest exit in an exploding space pod. He's dead, and Vegeta can't believe it. Kiwi used to be Vegeta's equal, but now he was defeated by Kakarot. Vegeta waits for a few moments in silence, thinking of the circumstances.
That means Frieza is aware of what's going on. Damn it, I'm losing my lifelines with him, and he's probably already on Namek.
Goku says to Vegeta that his friends are gone to Namek and are in danger. It seems that Frieza guy is there with a bunch of other guys stronger than him, and after they've done their business on Namek and killed his friends, they will sure head to Earth, and Vegeta could be on their list. Vegeta realizes Frieza will get immortality before him.
Damn it! Kakarot, you son of a bitch! How could this happen?
Vegeta's rage wants to explode, but he's bedridden with no power. Goku tells Vegeta that he can heal him with a Senzu Bean, but he needs his help. They need to go to Namek and save his friends, and in return the Dragon Balls are there. Vegeta can get a wish. It was Goku's only bargaining chip with this radical space pirate, Vegeta thinks. He knows that he has to go along with it right now. He's helpless, but in the end, the prize will be worth it, and he can destroy Kakarot when everything else is in place, and after Frieza is dead too. He realizes that without immortality, he stands no chance against Frieza, and the only backup he actually has right now is Kakarot, who is fighting for a common cause. As much as Vegeta hates Kakarot's guts, he is a Saiyan, the only few remaining, and Frieza is a huge threat to everyone. Vegeta's ambitions were still evil, but at this moment, he agrees to help Kakarot. At least that's kind of a win for the forces of good right now, but for how long? Goku gives Vegeta the Senzu Bean. Before he does, Goku says, if you try anything, I'll deal with you. Vegeta laughs.
You'll try.
He takes the bean and feels a surge in powerful Zenkai boost run through his veins. Vegeta stands up tall next to the bed, looks at Kakarot, and points his fingers at him.
Do I really need you with this kind of power?
Don't do it, Vegeta. And Goku stands on guard.
On second thought, you're right. We need to team up to stop Frieza. I couldn't care less about your friends. After I get my wish, you'd better run for the hills.
Goku smiles. Alright, but you better keep your end of the bargain. Any cheap tricks and you ain't getting your wish. Vegeta laughs.
Oh please, Kakarot. I don't need immortality to deal with the likes of scum like yourself. Tell me how we're getting to Namek. My space pod better still be functional, or else.
Goku guides Vegeta to Capsule Corp, where they see the good Dr. Briefs. He informs the two Saiyans that the gravity training room inside can go up to 100 Gs, but because he's used 2 parts of the space pods, it will get to Namek in 5 days instead of the 6. Furthermore, the durability was improved inside for Goku to train. Dr. Briefs warns Goku that if he and Vegeta train on the way to Namek, it might explode in space. Try not to overdo it with each other. But Vegeta gives a smug grin.
You think I'm training with Kakarot, you stupid old fool? You must be joking. I'd rather train by myself, and if Kakarot gets in my way, or even eats my Kit Kats, I'll snap his damn ankles.
Goku tells Vegeta that's fine, but training together may improve their results as much as they hate each other.
Let's go. I'm sick of this suspense. The biggest part of my training will be surviving 5 days with you in close proximity. I may even have to break out into space to kill myself by day 3.
Goku laughs, and Dr. Brief says that guy is quite agitated. Be careful, Goku. And so, the two board the spaceship, and it launches into the air. Goku and Vegeta stand on opposite sides of the training area, look at each other, realizing this is it. They are alone, but they need each other for the wars ahead on Namek. Frieza is no pushover. But what about what's happening right now on planet Namek? Of course it would be 5 days before Goku and Vegeta arrive, and 6 days before the Ginyu Force actually arrive. Well, Gohan and Krillin beat up the Grunts to help some Namekians. Frieza kills a lot of the Namekians and hunts for the Dragon Balls. Gohan and Krillin also escape Dodoria, saving Dende's life. Some events play as normal, but Vegeta does not encounter Dodoria yet, does not learn about Planet Vegeta's fate, and Vegeta does not kill the Namekians. However, Frieza manages to get 6 Dragon Balls anyway whilst hunting the planet, and the only other Dragon Ball was being protected by Gohan, Krillin and Bulma, hidden away where nobody could find it. All of Frieza's scouters were destroyed by the Namekians, so it was very difficult to track down Gohan and Krillin, or even to find that last Dragon Ball. Also, other differences on Namek would be Vegeta does not encounter Zarbon at the time he originally did. So Vegeta does not get captured or steals the Dragon Balls, instead Frieza keeps all the Dragon Balls bar one, and this means Dodoria and Zarbon continue to search the planet for the next 5 days, and during this time, Krillin had already met Guru to get his potential unlocked. Krillin returned to Gohan, Bulma and Dende wanted to take Gohan to Guru to get his power unlocked, and so they begin their journey together. The journey would take 4 days to complete at their pace, because they thought they were getting tracked by the others. But it would only be 3 days during that journey that Goku and Vegeta would arrive, so now we have an understanding of the time frame of events on Namek. We now find ourselves back in the Capsule Corp spaceship, where an interesting 5 days took place in space, where the training of Goku and Vegeta begins. How will enemies coexist in space together for 5 days? Will they reap the benefits of Saiyans training with other Saiyans? Will Vegeta find it in his dark heart to train with Kakarot without the intent to kill him? Will Goku be able to trust Vegeta, and will these two control their power to not actually destroy each other? Goku has 7 Senzu Beans. He plans to give Vegeta 3, and 3 for himself, saving 1 for emergencies on Namek. It's these little gestures that could form some sort of bond with Vegeta in these 5 days. They have to work together.
So Kakarot, looks like we're finally alone. I've got work to do before I get to Namek. Stay the hell out of my way. I'm still stronger than you. You'll only slow me down, and plus, I can't stand the smell of you.
Goku, in a confident look, says to Vegeta, knowing full well he needs to bait Vegeta to train with him so they can get as strong as possible. Oh, is that so? I don't think you actually have what it takes to train with me, Vegeta. You may think you're stronger, but you can't hang with my training routine. If we sparred, I pretty much win them all. Vegeta looks at Kakarot with disgust, and then smiles.
Oh really, Kakarot? Is that a challenge?
And so, the seed has been planted. Playing a very daring hand against Vegeta, Goku has taken advantage of Vegeta's pride by provoking him to spar with him. What catastrophic results will this bring to the table? And judging by how they beat the crap out of each other on Earth, just what the hell will these two Saiyans do to each other when sparring? The tension is still very high, but will they become stronger than they originally were in the original story?
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
During Goku and Vegeta's journey to planet Namek, the training between the two takes a very interesting turn. Of course, the spaceship is stronger than the one in the original story due to having the power capacity of 2 Saiyan space pods rather than 1, thus meaning they will arrive on Namek a day earlier. But in these 5 days, Goku and Vegeta would begin training separately for the first 2 days. They would not instantly train together like 2 chummy friends. Remember, there is still a lot of heat between the two, and they are only becoming allies to face Frieza, and in return, Vegeta getting a wish from the dragon. It's not like they would ever become compatible. Even during the original Buu saga, Vegeta refused to team with Goku, and during the Kid Buu fight, even Goku refused to fight as one. So imagine the heat at this stage before Namek. Even during a crisis, these two are highly unlikely to see eye to eye and train together in a wonderful manner. But with that being said, there is a way for them to benefit from the training, and that is competition. The first 2 days of training come to an end, and it appears that Goku and Vegeta have mastered approximately 50 times gravity. Goku's performance and results increase more than in the original story because rather than thinking about getting stronger to surpass Vegeta, Vegeta is now actually there with him. That heightens Goku's motivation and performance further, thus leading to better results. But at this point, Vegeta is still ahead of Goku. It is during this time that Vegeta gets a thrill for battle, seeing Goku as potentially a good punch bag. Of course, Goku would enjoy the feeling of facing Vegeta, but both knew full well they cannot go all out in this spaceship, otherwise it would be destroyed. So the real question was, could they contain their emotions if they sparred or fought each other? What would the agreement be? Because both, despite being even stronger, were still itching for a brawl due to their Saiyan blood. Well, even Vegeta knew he didn't want to die in space, so Goku made Vegeta an impressive deal in hoping it would make the spaceship remain intact. He knew Vegeta couldn't sense or suppress his ki as well as himself, so he gave Vegeta advice on how to hide his true power even more, and how to sense without a scouter. In less than 1 day, Vegeta had got the hang of it, but during this time Goku would continue training whilst Vegeta focused a little bit more on these fundamental skills of becoming an all-round fighter with better ki mastery. This allowed Goku to close the power gap ever so slightly, but halfway through that day, Vegeta calls Kakarot and tells him the waiting is over. He's finally got it, and not half bad. Goku tests Vegeta by moving quickly, ready to strike, and Vegeta, with his eyes closed, is able to detect and block Kakarot, kicking him back towards the rear end of the ship. Vegeta tells him they will battle, but without the use of energy waves. And to make it even tougher, both agreed to face each other under 100 times gravity whenever they fought, thus making the combat incredibly difficult. The 100 times gravity hit and both fighters fall to their knees. Even with their new power, 100 times was still far too much. But they both rose up and powered up, and the spaceship survived the powering up phase. But they would never use their max power in case it destroyed the ship. They would instead focus on raising their minimum base power even higher, so their maximum would be even more scary. Both fighters would run towards each other, sweating buckets and locked horns. Their battle would continue for the next hour, when finally both collapsed due to exhaustion. Goku managed to hit the 100 times gravity off, and that was by far the hardest battle either of them ever had, bloodied and bruised. They each consume a Senzu, and in Goku's shock, Vegeta hits the 100 times gravity button. He tells Kakarot to get ready for another 3 hours. Goku smiles, and so the two lock horns once again. Vegeta again seemed to have the edge in terms of their battle power, but Goku was rising very quickly too, and the Kaioken helped Goku in sticky situations. Needless to say, the intensity of this combat led to them consuming another Senzu Bean after the 3 hours, only for Goku and Vegeta to lock horns once again and battle for a further 3 hours under 100 times gravity, totaling 7 to 8 hours worth of 100 times close combat action, Saiyan versus Saiyan, and so all 3 of their Senzu Beans were consumed and none left. When Goku and Vegeta realize that if they square off one more time at that level, it will take them the rest of the journey to recover, and so through logistics of growing and training, both of them knew, despite their Saiyan blood thriving on this 100 times gravity battle and getting carried away, that they could not risk another wave of fighting like that with only 2 days left. They had to be fully healed by the time they got to Namek in time for Frieza, and both of them decided to go their separate ways for growing stronger in the last 2 days. Both would continue their own training methods, to which, surprisingly, gave impressive results. Despite using all of the Senzu Beans and training intensely under 100 times, Goku and Vegeta had grown remarkably stronger in that short amount of time than they ever did in the original story. The sparring and realistic fighting experience worked far more effectively than 10,000 sit-ups, and so the 100 times gravity remained operational for the next 2 days, even when they relaxed and slept, which wasn't much. And to be able to do this meant Goku's base power by the end of the 5 days would not be the regular 90,000 from the original story when he arrived on Namek, but his maximum base power was double that, at a staggering 180,000 without the Kaioken, and this was frightening. And Vegeta as well, being the Saiyan Prince, and already possessing a base power stronger than Goku, he had a minimum base power of 400,000, but was able to elevate his raw power and maintain it to over 1 million. The only way a Goku would be able to take on something of that level is to utilize his Kaioken times 10, which he had recently become accustomed to in short bursts. Needless to say, due to Vegeta never training like this before and always relied on Zenkai boosts and bloodbaths, this new training experience, Saiyan vs Saiyan, and intensity of growth shocked his body into adapting and becoming stronger overall. Vegeta's potential at this stage was unlocking much quicker. In fact, both of them were greater than ever, where Vegeta could maintain a higher power longer and Goku could ascend past that in short bursts using the Kaioken. They truly had their own strengths and weaknesses, but pretty much close in terms of fighting ability. We now find ourselves on Namek. The spaceship arrives, and it crashes onto Namek. The door opens and Vegeta exits the ship first, in his hideous destroyed Saiyan armor that he had been wearing a long time, ever since he fought Goku on Earth, and even before that. The stench was unbelievable, to which Goku left soon after and covers his nose. He tells Vegeta that maybe he can defeat Frieza with the power of smell alone. But Vegeta tells Goku to share the last Senzu Bean. He knows he has one left and kept it for emergencies. Goku was hesitant, but Vegeta persuades him to break it in half because they both need to be at full strength, as it was obvious both weren't fully rested from the intensity of the 100 times gravity constantly being on. They both eat half of a Senzu, and it was enough to top them both up to full strength. Just about. Vegeta tells Kakarot to get lost. He no longer needs his assistance, as he is strong enough to defeat Frieza and get the Dragon Balls himself. His arrogance plays a major role here, because Vegeta is stronger than he's ever been. In fact, he now considers himself to be the Super Saiyan of legend. He does not believe or is in shock that it could be Kakarot, because Kakarot's power now no longer surprises him compared to his own. like in the original story, and this is the beginning of the downfall of the Saiyan Prince, the overconfidence, and also the lack of knowledge on how to actually become a Super Saiyan. Needless to say, at this point, he is even more stronger than his original self when he grappled Frieza in his first form in the original story. In fact, this new power of Vegeta could actually give second form Frieza a run for its money, but only time will tell. Vegeta flies on in search for Frieza. He can sense him now, but only just. His abilities have manifested, making him a scary warrior, and still with no compassion for others. In fact, because of the original events not happening on Namek, this leads to Vegeta maintaining a large level of his ruthlessness as well as ego. But when he senses Frieza's power, Vegeta's eye twitches in surprise, but he smirks afterwards to eliminate the sense that he's scared. He didn't want to show Goku that Frieza worries him anymore. But he's going straight for Frieza, and Goku tries to warn him that they don't know how strong Frieza actually is, and they should work together at least. This is the whole point of this threat. But Vegeta has already taken off, clouded by this new level of power he has obtained, not even desperate to team with Kakarot anymore. And as he's flying off, he shouts back to Kakarot that if he follows him, he will kill him. But not to worry, because after Frieza is dead, he is next anyway. But Goku knew deep down that Vegeta didn't kill him because either he knew he couldn't, or he still has doubt that he may not be able to take on Frieza alone, and this is all bravado. Goku still sensed fear in Vegeta, and knew he had to help for the greater good. But Goku decides to do something very important, and that's to start tracking down his son Gohan, as well as Krillin and Bulma, and lead them back to the spaceship for safety. Goku is extremely powerful, but no near the level he was in the original story that fought Frieza, and with no Senzu beans left, the tension gets higher. Gohan is being taken to gurus to get his potential unlocked, but due to them both concealing their power extremely well, Goku is unable to sense them, but both of them sense Goku and Vegeta's giant power levels enter the atmosphere and begin to worry. They couldn't say if it was Goku's because it was way too high. They felt it could be some other enemy, along with Frieza, so stayed concealed for the sake of their own lives, and travelled to gurus. Goku would search Namek for the remaining day, but even with his key sensing ability, he couldn't track down Bulma at this stage, or even a suppressed Gohan and Krillin. All he felt was Vegeta and Frieza's energy from afar, as well as a few other strong energy levels which were Zarbon and Dodoria. Vegeta's ki sensing had improved, and was effective close combat, but was still tough to sense enemies from afar, and thus took Vegeta a considerable amount of time to locate power levels exactly on Namek. Luckily for them, Frieza couldn't detect anything, but Goku continued searching for Gohan and Krillin. The day was getting close to its end, and all Vegeta and Goku found on their search was dead bodies of Namekians all piled up around Namek. Frieza had all but one Dragon Ball, where the last one resided at Guru's. Vegeta becomes frustrated after hours of searching the planet, and decides it is best to rest while he can, as he needs to keep his strength at full to fight Frieza. Goku also does the same, and so the two try to get a few hours nap in some tucked away rocky area, keeping their key radar on in case anything closes in. Vegeta realizes that nobody has approached him ever since he arrived. Perhaps they may not have access to scouters, which gives him a significant advantage over Frieza. But despite Goku and Vegeta having half a Senzu bean before heading out on the hunt, both were still mentally and physically exhausted from the 5 days intense training. Yes, they had Senzu beans, but they hardly slept, and this level of strength was very new grounds for them. Both didn't realize how much sleep they needed just to keep functional. This nap was goddamn necessary for power growth. And yes, after this nap, they would wield even more potential than before when fully rested. The hours passed by, actually more than expected, and with a sudden shock and thunderous heartbeat, Goku and Vegeta awake abruptly, an extreme power surge coming from Guru's house. It is Gohan. Guru unlocks Gohan's power, and that is energy that Goku recognizes straight away. But to Vegeta, it's just another power level amongst Dodoria's, Zarbon's, Frieza's, all slightly clouded from a distance, but coming from a different end of the planet. Vegeta is still interested that something is happening in that direction, so he travels there. Goku gets to Guru's house, and is spotted by Krillin and Nail. Krillin gets super excited, and Goku is so glad that he's okay. Krillin explains the situation, and Goku thought Nail was Piccolo for a second. Either way, Gohan steps outside with the last remaining Dragon Ball, instructed by Guru to keep it safe and take it off the planet so that the evil tyrant Frieza cannot use it. Goku and Gohan hug, as it's been a while since they saw each other. The three of them, including Nail, speak for a moment, but are rudely interrupted by Vegeta. Gohan and Krillin are in defense mode, but Goku says not to fight. Vegeta demands the Dragon Ball or he'll exterminate all of them, but Goku tells him to back off, and he can have his wish, as promised, only if he can help defeat this Frieza guy. Goku says he has a better key tracking ability and can leave Vegeta to Frieza to save more time. Vegeta agrees to these terms, but only ever so. This was a sticky situation for Goku and friends, and at this point Goku was thinking even if they defeat Frieza, that still leaves Vegeta, and for all they know, could be 10 times worse than Frieza, but they kept to the plan for now. However, a sudden explosion to Namek's atmosphere. Enter the Ginyu Force. Here they come, heading towards Frieza, and Vegeta knows who it is after sensing the 5 power levels in a certain direction. But he begins laughing, believing they now stand no chance against him. The Ginyu Force land and speak to Frieza, handing the Emperor the new Scouters, as requested. They already detect Goku and Vegeta with their new Scouters, and are in shock at 180,000 and 400,000. Ginyu realizes this could be trouble. But because Frieza is also there with them and begins to wonder just who has that amount of power, he begins to worry as well and commands the Ginyu Force, along with Zarbon and Dodoria, to follow him towards the energy signatures, in also presuming the final Dragon Ball is in that area. This is going to be all-out warfare, with Frieza, all of his goons, and the Saiyans, Krillin and Nail. Goku, Vegeta and everyone notice a combination of power levels heading their way, and feel that Frieza's power may just be the tip of the iceberg. This could be very, very bad. Maybe an even worse scenario than in the original. Vegeta presumes that they've acquired new Scouters, hence why they are getting closer. Nail suggests they should move away from Guru, and Goku shouts that it doesn't matter, if they get through us they'll kill him anyway. Goku tells Krillin and Gohan to suppress their power, and to get ready to leave the area. Despite their strength, these other guys will murder them. Vegeta shouts as well to make themselves useful, and whilst they distract Frieza and his army, for Gohan and Krillin to travel in that direction towards Frieza's ship, with the last Dragon Ball and summon the dragon to give himself immortality. It's the only way to secure a victory, to defeat Frieza. And Vegeta says if they do that, he will not go back to Earth to destroy it. Goku encourages them to go and tells them to be careful. It's better to go that way than stay and potentially get killed by these 8 huge power levels. They head off with Dende, and in seconds, Frieza arrives, along with the Ginyu Force, Dodoria and Zarbon. He says he's impressed at Vegeta's staggering 400,000 power. Vegeta smirks and tells him to come and get a closer look. Goku realizes that the Ginyu Force, when all together, could be quite a nuisance, as they all appear quite high when not even powered up. Nail steps in between Goku and Vegeta, and offers his help. He says he can send some of their power and he will take down Zarbon and Dodoria. Within seconds, Vegeta surges his power, hitting 500,000 easy, and launches at Frieza all of the way through the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force are in shock at Prince Vegeta's new power. How on earth did he get this strong? Out of nowhere, Goku appears in the middle of the Ginyu Force midair and tells them all not to lower their guard. He initiates a huge sphere of energy and smashes them all in 5 different directions. He takes the fight to the Ginyu Force one by one, whilst Frieza and Vegeta lock horns in a grapple. Goku dashes towards Goldo, and Goldo initiates his time stop ability, to which Goku feels an unusual energy, but knows exactly how to overcome it. He cranks his Kaioken up to a ×3, and is able to overcome Goldo's ability with raw power alone, to where Goku punches Goldo so hard he is sent flying into the dirt and rendered unconscious. Goku is so fast that he's already targeting Recoome with his Kaioken, that easily took him beyond 600,000. The Ginyu Force are absolutely no match, and in one karate chop to the back of the neck, Recoome is down, followed by Goku stalking Berta and Jace like a predator. They try to use their double team move, but it's an even bigger disgrace than the original timeline. Goku elbows Jace to the nuts, where Jason's voice hits a note higher than the power level of full power Frieza, and Berta is roundhouse kicked to the jaw. 4 complete knockouts with only Captain Ginyu left, in complete shock. Nail has already shown absolutely no mercy to Dodoria. Both Zarbon Monster Form and Dodoria cannot keep up with Nail's power. This guy is a true warrior. Everything they throw at him, Nail just blocks or tanks. Nail may be an honorable Namekian, but he's also fueled with the rage and vengeful nature for the murder of his Namekian people by those bastards. Nail launches at Dodoria with a key glowing fist, and penetrates Dodoria's guts, a hole in one, and Nail pulls his arm out. The blood from Dodoria's corpse drips down Nail's nails. And Zarbon begins to piss his pants. Nail locks eyes with Zarbon, charges his key into his hand, as Dodoria's blood on his hand just evaporates, and with a raging Namekian roar, Nail blasts Zarbon into the next dimension. Nail proved he was a goddamn manager in that situation. Meanwhile, Vegeta's power kept rising, and Frieza was actually on the defensive for the majority of this scuffle. couldn't concentrate on the fighting due to the shock of realizing Vegeta had grown so much, possibly thinking he's a Super Saiyan, as Vegeta continuously brags in front of Frieza that he has finally become a Super Saiyan. Frieza realizes he needs a minute to unlock his power in order to stand a chance. But how can he stop Vegeta for that amount of time? He tries to buy time by telling Vegeta about the fate of planet Vegeta. He explains that it wasn't a meteor, that it was actually someone else. But Vegeta says he already knows it's Frieza. He knew it in his gut all along. But Frieza tries to trick Vegeta by saying, no, it wasn't who you see right now. It was actually someone else. Do you want to kneel in the presence of the one who destroyed your home planet and murdered your father? Vegeta raises an eyebrow. Of course, Frieza in his first form did it, but he was bullshitting Vegeta to get time to transform. Vegeta says, whatever, you're going to die in the next 10 seconds. And Frieza laughs and says, okay, well give me 10 seconds and you'll see something that not even a Super Saiyan can tangle with. Vegeta gets curious, with a lot of arrogance and overconfidence in his newly acquired power, allowing Frieza to transform. Boom. Frieza powers up. It has begun. Goku looks at the surging power of Frieza transforming into his second form. It's monstrous. And in Goku's distraction, Ginyu initiates a body change. His trump card, right towards Goku. This could be bad. But Nail gun attack. Ginyu did not even see it coming. Nail saw that Ginyu was planning something and kept his eyes on him. He took down the captain with a deadly nail gun from behind, just as Captain Ginyu's defenses were fully lowered, and Ginyu falls in disgrace. And to top it off, Nail had already made the rounds and killed off the remaining unconscious Ginyu force. That's right, Nail got the goddamn job done. He killed all of them. Goku was in shock about this, but then started to understand why Nail had killed them all. He just lost all of his family Namekians, murdered by those guys, and it was in Nail's name that those assholes died. The blood was on his hands and not Goku's, where it did not belong. Nail went back in to see Guru for a cup of tea, and then head off to where Gohan, Krillin, and Dende were. Goku remained by Vegeta's side, and he lands down to Vegeta and tells him this looks seriously bad, wondering why Vegeta is giving him time to transform, but it was too late to complain. If they work together now, at full power they should be able to take down second form Frieza. Vegeta tells Kakarot to back off. This is his fight, it's personal. That bastard destroyed his homeworld, his father. Vegeta never looked like that bothered him. He didn't want to look fragile in front of Frieza's army in the past. But deep down it hurt like hell. Saiyan pride was everything to Vegeta. This was his moment to take down the Tyrant at his best. Or so Vegeta thought. Goku stepped back and told Vegeta he would step in if it gets bad. Vegeta laughs, and during his laugh, an explosion occurred. Frieza's second form was ready and stood in front of the prince. He told him to strike him down with all of his hatred, to which Vegeta powered up beyond 1 million, and Frieza smiles, knowing this will be a barbaric fight. And truth be told, Frieza knew full well he was going to be toying around with 2 more forms at his disposal. Vegeta fights Frieza, and Vegeta's anger keeps him in the fight. But with each punch from Frieza, Vegeta is rattled. He realizes that Frieza was always as strong as he bragged. He tries to stay in the fight like the Saiyan warrior he is, but just barely. Frieza begins overpowering the prince with raw strength. Vegeta is feeling so many emotions at this point. He believes he is the Super Saiyan, and this means everything to him. Goku overhears Vegeta and Frieza talking about this Super Saiyan of legend, and is confused. But Vegeta does not give up. He continues to fight until Frieza smashes him down extremely hard and gets a further minute to power up. Goku is absolutely scared for his life. If Frieza continues to power up like that, then there's no hope at all. Goku takes no chances. Kaioken times 10, a double axe handle to Frieza's back, and he is sent into the dirt, losing half of his teeth. Second form Frieza is interrupted and extremely pissed. He needs to transform now, or these 2 Saiyans could actually finish him off. Vegeta gets back up and is so angry, yet very beat down from Frieza's monstrous punches, knowing the cold hard truth that he may not actually be able to beat Frieza alone, due to the scary untapped potential within this tyrant. But then suddenly, he notices that the sky has become dark. Back at Frieza's ship, Gohan, Krillin, Dende, and now the arriving Nail had all acquired the Dragon Balls and summoned Porunga. Whilst he was summoned, Krillin said they should hold off giving Vegeta immortality. It may not be the right thing to do. They were still worried about him from what happened on Earth, and couldn't trust him. They thought about giving Goku immortality, and then wish it away later so he can live a normal life with his family. That was the top option. King Kai begins sending a message to Gohan. It's Piccolo. He demands to be sent there. for the same reasons in the original story, the death of the Namekians, to stop Frieza. This was a huge moment for Piccolo too, learning of what happened. He didn't know if he could stop Frieza, but he knew he had to be there to help, and ensured Gohan that he could kill Frieza. Nail wonders if Piccolo is strong, and if he is and is brought here, Nail had the idea to merge beforehand, already seeing Frieza's devastating power and realizes they need all the help they can get. He informed Dende to wish for this Piccolo to be brought back to life, and for the second wish to be teleported to their exact location on Namek. Gohan and Krillin knew this was a gamble, but it was better from a moral standpoint than giving the enemy immortality. They thought they could use the third wish to give Goku immortality if needed. Plus, they're getting the wish that they already went to Namek for in the first place, bringing their friends back. Suddenly, within seconds, Piccolo arrives and sees Gohan and Krillin. Gohan is extremely happy, and now Piccolo is confronted by Nail. Nail explains the situation, to which Piccolo understands, and can even feel second form Frieza's power, knowing full well there's no other option left, except by merging with Nail. Nail can see that Piccolo means a lot to Gohan, and does the noble thing of offering Piccolo to be the main vessel for the merge. Dende is saddened by this, but Nail tells Dende that Piccolo has just been brought back. It would be wrong to just take him away again from the ones who care for him. This is because Nail is a goddamn hero. So it is done. Piccolo merges with Nail, and a thunderous amount of power surges through the Namekian's veins. But in this glorious moment, he realizes something devastating happening on the battlefield where Goku is. Piccolo takes flight and dashes towards the action. But Vegeta has left Goku alone to fight Frieza while shouting, "If they didn't give me what I asked for, I'll kill all of them," and flies off in a desperation to find out what the hell happened with the Dragon Balls. That this is his only chance for immortality. Goku was manhandling second form Frieza thanks to the Kaioken ×10, and was aiming to defeat him once and for all. Frieza's tricks wouldn't work on Goku, but Goku gets carried away with Vegeta shouting those words as he abandons the fight. The sky gets dark, a new surge in Namekian power. What's going on? He's worried for the safety of his son and best friend. Vegeta may be heading to kill Gohan in a burst of rage, but Goku couldn't afford to give Frieza any chances either, as he may get stronger. So Goku did what any true dad would do when getting a gut feeling his son may get killed. He chased down Vegeta to make sure he does not harm Gohan, leaving Frieza in a pile of rubble, and Frieza is there smiling at this opportunity that he so desperately needs. Vegeta, whilst in flight, passes Piccolo, and the two get 1 second of realization who each other are. But Piccolo continues forward, and is soon passed by Goku. They both stop and acknowledge each other. He tells Piccolo that Frieza still needs dealing with, but Gohan and Krillin are also in danger due to Vegeta's angry desperation for immortality. Piccolo tells Goku to carry on, and he will take over in wiping out that bastard Frieza for murdering his Namekian race. Goku chases Vegeta. Piccolo heads towards Frieza, but the transformation has already begun. Piccolo is in serious trouble already. Back at Frieza's spaceship, Vegeta lands down, and in anger punches Gohan and Krillin away from Porunga. He tells them they better have one wish left or they're dead. Dende is scared to death, and Gohan tells Vegeta yes, there's one more wish, he can have it. Realizing that Vegeta is on the verge of killing them, Gohan and Krillin tell Dende to give Vegeta immortality, but suddenly, when Dende begins to speak his Namekian tongue, Porunga disappears and the Dragon Balls turn to stone. Guru has died, Dende cries, and realizes that there's no one left except him and Piccolo. Vegeta asks them if it worked, and then flips when he realizes it didn't. He punches Gohan down into the dirt, almost knocking him out. One punch was enough for Gohan at this level. He begins marching towards Krillin with an evil look in his eye, telling him he's going to rip his lungs out. But Dende had made his way to Gohan and healed him up. Gohan gets a Zenkai boost and instantly charges at Vegeta, headbutting the weakened Vegeta right in the dick. Krillin follows up by sending a beam of energy right through Vegeta's defenseless guts. Vegeta is in shock, falls to his knees, and blood pours out. He's not dead yet, but he's nearly there. He wonders how Gohan got that strong so fast. He was nothing a minute ago, but he notices Dende. He believed it was that one who had the magical healing ability. Vegeta coughs up blood and pleads Krillin to heal him, because only his new Saiyan power, once healed, will turn him into a Super Saiyan to defeat Frieza. But Krillin doesn't want to, and neither does Gohan. But at this time, Goku lands and sees what's happening. Vegeta continues to persuade them to change their mind, saying that Frieza is going to get stronger, and not even Kakarot nor the Namekian will be able to stop him. He tells them to feel Frieza's energy, and that he's not lying. Goku, Krillin, and Gohan start thinking that there may be no other way. Frieza already feels stronger than Piccolo, Goku, and even Vegeta. It must be an even stronger form, and they were right. Frieza had already acquired his third form, and my god, it is powerful. Goku knew deep down it triumphs his Kaioken times 10 power at this stage, and if they don't heal Vegeta, then he and Piccolo may not be enough alone, and Goku had a feeling this is not even Frieza's final form. And so, Dende heals Vegeta, as requested, and the Saiyan Prince stands up, stronger than ever after this ultimate Zenkai boost, in his disgusting, ruined Saiyan armor he's been wearing for months. He tells them all that this is not a fashion show, but he will be right back. Vegeta enters Frieza's spaceship and gets some new battle armor, the one similar to the original story. Goku tells him they have to hurry, Piccolo is already in battle. They have to kill off Frieza now before he transforms again. The surges are becoming too great, but Vegeta is arrogant once again and as proud as ever. Believing now he is the Super Saiyan, right now. He's even stronger than he was in the original story after Dende healed him. Goku tells the others to find Bulma and get the spaceship to leave Namek. They'll only make the fighting more difficult if they're in the way, and so they leave, whilst Goku and the new powered up Vegeta head back to help Piccolo. Well, Vegeta wants to kill Frieza, not really help Piccolo. But yes, at this point Vegeta triumphs the Kaioken times 10 in raw, consistent power, and is easily in the 3 million range, which is scary. As they arrive, they notice third form Frieza using his finger blasts on Piccolo. Piccolo had no chance against this form, and was barely holding on. But Goku and Vegeta attack from different angles. Frieza notices Goku's Kaioken aura, but never saw the stronger Vegeta attacking from the flank. Vegeta tackles Frieza mid-air and smashes him into the ground, followed by a gigantic Gallic gun. Frieza could barely hold it back, and ends up taking the whole force of it. Goku follows up with a Kamehameha and fires it at Frieza, who is defenseless on the ground, and an explosion erupts. Goku and Vegeta land, and notice Piccolo lying on the ground seriously hurt. Goku runs to him to check, and barely manages to get him to his feet, after surviving the onslaught by Frieza. But where is Frieza? Why hasn't he come out of the rubble? Did he fall in the Namekian Ocean? For some bizarre reason it was hard to detect Frieza's energy. Vegeta instructs Kakarot to leave with his precious friends and family, and take the Namekian with him. He will kill Frieza himself, and if he's lucky he won't pay Earth a visit later on. But Goku refuses, knowing full well Frieza is still dangerous and didn't trust Vegeta's capability to get the job done alone. Whilst the two were arguing, the unimaginable happened. Boom! The planet begins shaking, the oceans crashing, the ground cracking and separating. A huge, enormous amount of energy had engulfed the area like an atomic bomb. No, it was not a transformation. Frieza had acted in desperation. He launched an energy ball at the core of planet Namek, creating a devastating chain of events, causing the planet to slowly go into meltdown. Due to the fact Namek was slowly getting destroyed around them, this distracted Vegeta, Kakarot and Piccolo long enough for Frieza to sneakily undergo his final transformation in the ocean. It was the ultimate distraction, and quite smart to do it underwater. Frieza always held the right cards. He can survive in space and the Saiyans cannot. After seeing Vegeta's strength, as well as Kakarot and the Namekian helping, he was cornered. But now, Frieza is not playing games anymore. The transformation is complete, and Frieza, with his purple aura, rises out from the lava that spewed from Namek's core. Frieza smiles, in this sleek, slender new form. Vegeta, Goku and Piccolo stand on guard, and this image of 3 vs 1 on the erupting Namek looks like an iconic moment in Dragon Ball What If history. That was, until Frieza calmly said the words, 50%. I will only use 50%, and you only have 5 minutes. Vegeta spits to the ground. Shut up, you idiot! He charges at Frieza and misses a punch. No matter how much stronger Vegeta was than in the original story, no matter if Goku used a Kaioken times 20 at this point in his less powerful base than in the original, all 3 of them combined have absolutely no chance like this. Frieza moves quickly, lightning fast, and manages to kick all 3 fighters in the face one at a time. He is holding back his true power, not out of fun, but because he doesn't need 100% at all. Hell, he doesn't even need 25% at this rate. But Frieza manages to land another 3 kicks to each of them before they even hit the ground. All 3 fighters land down on the floating rocks of the lava. Frieza was so precise with his attacks. Vegeta can't even see his movements, which means they are completely outmatched. Due to Goku and Vegeta's inexperience of teamwork here, the only trump card Goku could think of was the Spirit Bomb, so he asked Piccolo to buy him some time. But the worn-out Namekian barely looked like he could fight off a cold. Screw it, they may as well try. The problem with the Spirit Bomb was Namek was already near destruction. There were 4 minutes left. Could Goku even form a Spirit Bomb in that time? Highly unlikely, but he tried anyway. He raises his arms. Planet Namek, whatever you have left, the stars around you, all living things, lend me your energy and I will defeat... Silence, monkey. Goku stopped talking. He looks down, his arms fall loose. Frieza had just punched him so hard in the stomach that Goku is knocked unconscious. He whispers to Kakarot, who falls onto his shoulder. I didn't ask you to raise your hands for your Emperor just yet. For that, you don't get to act in the circus tonight, Saiyan filth. Goku's eyes glaze, and the courageous hero falls to his knees. Piccolo runs towards Goku. No, Goku! But Frieza sees the Namekian, and in one swift movement, Frieza darts past the Namekian at the speed of light, and elbows Piccolo in the back of the head, and then to the front of the face, where blood explodes from his mouth. Piccolo is completely unconscious too. They had no chance. The blood from Piccolo, the blood from Goku, stains the crumbled, destroyed land of the doomed planet Namek. That's almost 2 races extinct in one day, and this isn't even my best day. Vegeta is extremely angry, but at the same time trembling with fear, so many mixed emotions. Frieza turns his attention to him. You're not a Super Saiyan. You never were. You cannot stop me, Vegeta. But I'm willing to give you another chance if you want to. But first, I need to beat out the treachery in your broken body before we consider a new deal. He teleports in and headbutts Vegeta, grabs his hair from behind, a barrage of punches to Vegeta's spine, and throws him to the dirt. He puts his foot onto Vegeta's chest and presses hard onto the wound. So, Vegeta, is this a Super Saiyan? There's nobody left but you. Are you going to stop me in less than 2 minutes? I'll be out of here in 1. But before I leave, let me tell you a story about your father. Just before I killed him, Vegeta's eyes open and locks onto Frieza's. Frieza laughs. Yes, your father, pitiful monkey. Right before I killed him, I pinned him down, similar to what I'm doing to you now. And I told him something similar, that the Super Saiyan was a myth. And because he believed in such a stupid legend, I would punish him. I would punish his son, and any offspring he would have. I told him to beg for his life. And you know what he did, Vegeta? He begged. He kissed my foot. He groveled. And he cried. And he told me that I could take his son, if it meant that I spared his pathetic life. Vegeta starts to cry hearing this. And Frieza continues. Yes, he sacrificed his son to try and save his pathetic life. And you know what I told him? I told him, King Vegeta, you are a goddamn disgrace. And then I proceeded to crush his entire skull to where the blood despicably ruined my newly mopped command floor. That wretched pig, he deserved to die. Vegeta's tears begin to pour, but then his eyes widen with anger, hatred, and desperation. You liar! Vegeta knew his father would never do that, and Frieza was trying to get to him before he killed him. And he was right. It did get to him. Vegeta shouts again. You liar! Get away from me! And he follows with an explosion never seen before. A golden blast of energy surrounds the area, and Vegeta rises to his feet as Frieza jumps away from the impact. He tells Frieza, I hate you! I don't care if I'm a Super Saiyan or the myths, but by my hand alone, I am going to kill you! Even if it means we both die here. Yeah! Frieza notices something changing in Vegeta. He notices this isn't any ordinary ape transformation. Vegeta's hair is flickering golden, and his eyes pulsating with a green hue. The rocks begin to rise around Vegeta. The anger is burning inside him, along with a desperation to survive, but also a feeling of not giving a damn anymore. All of the struggles have pushed Vegeta to this moment. We know what is about to happen, and finally, via the Saiyan Prince in all of his glory, the legendary Super Saiyan. He stands before Frieza, not even sure of the feelings he's experiencing, but Vegeta is primarily fueled with rage and revenge. Frieza is in absolute shock. The plot armor is strong with this one. Vegeta looks at Piccolo and Goku's fallen bodies and calls them a disgrace. He looks back at Frieza. You bastard! This is for all the Saiyans you murdered! And in warp speed, Vegeta is already in close combat to Frieza, with his fist in Frieza's guts. What a hit! He looks up at Frieza, who is looking at him in disbelief as he spits out blood. Impossible! That's right, Vegeta is easily as strong as Super Saiyan Goku in the original story, which means there is no doubt now that he could kill this monstrosity, but the difference here, Goku was fighting in the name of all that was good, but Vegeta is fighting with pain and suffering, 30 years in the making. Vegeta follows through with a thunderous kick and carries out an onslaught of punches and kicks to Frieza. Frieza loses his bearings as this power jump was far too great. As he's being punched left and right, smashed in the ground non-stop, he begins to realize this is the Super Saiyan he feared. Vegeta continues to attack. This is a different Vegeta than before. He no longer feels arrogant. He no longer feels like playing games. This transformation was ignited through desperation and a need. Vegeta knew in his blood what he had finally become. Whilst he was punching Frieza into the dirt, he also felt that the rage in this situation was taking over his being. And it was that rage that just kept multiplying. The Super Saiyan continued to battle and bruise Frieza before Frieza could even have time to power up to full. Vegeta was leaving no openings this time. He was riding his rage state and ready to finish this. Suddenly, a small spaceship appeared near the area of the fight. It was Bulma, Gohan, Krillin, and Dende. They came back for Goku and Piccolo because Gohan felt his father's ki drop fast. In crackerjack timing, they disembarked and brought Goku and Piccolo on board, with Dende then healed them. But they had to get out of there now. Namek was erupting. Bulma told them they had to take off right now. There's only 1 minute left before Namek explodes. Goku and Piccolo rise inside the ship and realize what the hell happened, and sensed the most extraordinary power coming from Namek's destroyed land, and could finally see it. Vegeta had become something else. Goku realized that this is the Super Saiyan he overheard them talking about. It had to be. Goku is in complete shock and realizes this is way above his pay grade.
Vegeta is sacrificing himself. He feels a tremendous burning rage coming from in. It feels uncontrollable. It's extremely dangerous to stay, but Vegeta needs this for himself. This is a moment he's been waiting for his whole life, and the prince will finally get what he was destined for, and at the same time, destroy that bastard who ruined his life and ours.
Goku says,
Vegeta, I'm sorry. I wish things were different now.
He looks down at the carnage happening on Namek. The spaceship surges and leaves the Namekian atmosphere on its way back to Earth, where their future is left in their hands. Thus leaving behind the legendary Super Saiyan and the Emperor Tyrant Frieza. A battle of absolute monsters, destined to fight until the very end. Vegeta, with barely 30 seconds left, says to Frieza, who is standing on his crooked legs,
This is for my father. Vegeta, please. I'll do anything.
Vegeta teleports behind him so fast Frieza could not see it.
Gallic Gun!
Point blank, a giant explosion, and Frieza's body is completely blown in half, similar to how he looked in the original story. Vegeta walks slowly, dominantly towards the fallen brute.
Vegeta, help me. I beg of you. I'll give you anything.
Vegeta walks over and turns Frieza onto his back and mounts the separated body. Frieza's mouth blasts blood out constantly, and Vegeta grabs Frieza's left arm, ignites his Super Saiyan aura, and rips off the arm. Frieza screams in pain. He almost falls unconscious due to the pain, but is barely awake. Vegeta grabs the other arm and rips that off too, throws them both away. Frieza is pretty much in a state of shock, cannot even say a word. Eyes rolling into the back of his head, whilst the sweating, blood-faced, raging-eyed Super Saiyan Prince looks down in disgust and says,
And this is for me.
Vegeta raises his fist and punches Frieza directly in the face, and again, and again, and again. Vegeta punches go deeper each time, as Frieza's face is caved in. The Super Saiyan continues until finally, his hand goes through the monster's head entirely to the rocks below. And the Super Saiyan screams in complete anger while sitting on the murdered Frieza, but also a moment's relief realizing he got his revenge in the most disgusting, brutal way. Just who is the real monster here? Vegeta stands up, completely victorious in this battle, but had truly lost whatever soul he had in order to do it. He was consumed. There was no time to get to a space pod in these last 10 seconds. He had less time than Goku originally did in the original story. There was no escape for the prince. He realized he got carried away with his anger, and there was no stopping it. The years of hell. Vegeta didn't deserve to die, but he deserved this moment. And he would prioritize this moment over his own life. He looks up at the sky. With planet Namek seconds away from its inevitable destruction, he realizes who he has become, and for the last moment he regains his rationale, controlling the Super Saiyan power for one more second. He closes his eyes, relaxes, no expression, knowing this is how it was always meant to be, his destiny, and how he wishes he could have seen his father one more time to make him proud, and to tell him that now they are truly free. Vegeta, the Prince, the Slayer of Frieza, the Avenger of the Saiyan race, the legendary Super Saiyan. And in that moment, a gigantic bright light emerged and covered the nearby space as planet Namek explodes, destroying everything on it entirely. And Vegeta dies, a warrior, with no fear, no regrets, and no more pain. Goodbye, Saiyan Prince. The transformation is complete, and Frieza, with his purple aura, rises out from the lava that spewed from Namek's core. Frieza smiles in this sleek, slender new form. Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo stand on guard, and this image of 3 versus 1 on the erupting Namek looks like an iconic moment in Dragon Ball What If history. That was until Frieza calmly said the words, 50%. I will only use 50%, and you only have 5 minutes. Vegeta spits to the ground and tells him to shut up. He charges at Frieza and misses a punch. Frieza was so fast. No matter how much stronger Vegeta got, no matter if Goku used a Kaioken times 20 at this point, all 3 of them combined have absolutely no chance like this. Frieza moves quickly, lightning fast, and manages to kick all 3 fighters in the face, one at a time, whilst he is holding back his true power. Not out of fun, but because he doesn't need 100% at all. Hell, he doesn't even need 25%. Frieza manages to land another 3 kicks to each of them before they hit the ground. All 3 fighters then land down on the floating rocks on the lava. Frieza was so precise with his attacks. Vegeta can't see his movements, which means they are completely outmatched now. Due to Goku and Vegeta's inexperience of teamwork here, the only trump card Goku could think of was the Spirit Bomb. He asked Piccolo to buy him some time, but the worn-out Namekian barely looked like he could fight off a cold. But screw it, he might as well try. The problem with the Spirit Bomb was Namek was already near destruction. There were 4 minutes left. Could Goku even form a Spirit Bomb in that time? Could he gather any energy? Highly unlikely, but he tried anyway because it's Goku. He raises his arms and shouted, "Planet Namek, whatever you have left, the stars around you, all living things, lend me your energy and I will defeat..." Silence, monkey. And so, Goku stopped talking. He looks down. His arms fall loose. Frieza's hand penetrated Goku's spine through his chest from behind. He whispers to Kakarot, "I didn't ask you to raise your hands for your Emperor just yet. For that, you don't get to act in the circus tonight, Saiyan filth. Die." Goku's eyes glaze, and the courageous hero falls to his knees and dies at the hand of the monster Frieza, realizing that an overdramatic stance for a move like that was not really effective in a battle like this. Piccolo runs towards Goku shouting, "No, Goku!" But Frieza sees the Namekian, and in one swift movement, Frieza darts past the Namekian at the speed of light, and Piccolo's body continues running for a few steps towards Goku, but his head had traveled in another direction. Frieza just cut off Piccolo's head in one murderous chop. The blood from Piccolo, the blood from Goku, stained the crumbled, destroyed land of the doomed planet Namek. They were dead, and Frieza says, "That's almost 2 races extinct in one day. And this isn't even my best day." Vegeta is extremely angry, but at the same time, trembling with fear. So many mixed emotions, and Frieza turns his attention to him. "You're not a Super Saiyan. You never were. You cannot stop me, Vegeta, but I'm willing to give you another chance if you want. But first, I need to beat out the treachery in your broken body before we consider a new deal." He teleports in and headbutts Vegeta, and grabs his hair from behind, a barrage of punches to Vegeta's spine, and throws him to the dirt. He puts his foot onto Vegeta's chest and presses hard onto the wound. "So Vegeta, is this the Super Saiyan? There's nobody left but you. Are you going to stop me in less than 2 minutes? I'll be out of here in less than 1. But before I leave, let me tell you a story about your father. Just before I killed him, Vegeta's eyes open and locks onto Frieza's. Frieza laughs. Yes, your father, pitiful monkey. Right before I killed him, I pinned him down, similar to what I'm doing to you now. And I told him something similar, that the Super Saiyan was a myth, and because he believed in such a stupid legend, I would punish him. I would punish his son, and any offspring he would have. I told him to beg for his life, and you know what he did, Vegeta? He begged, he kissed my foot, he groveled, and he cried, and he told me that I could take his son, if it meant that I spared his pathetic life. Vegeta starts to cry hearing this, and Frieza continues. Yes, he sacrificed his son to try and save his pathetic life. And you know what I told him? I told him, King Vegeta, you are a goddamn disgrace. And then I proceeded to crush his entire skull to where the blood despicably ruined my newly mopped command floor. That wretched pig, he deserved to die. Vegeta's tears begins to pour from his eyes, and his eyes widen with anger, hatred, and desperation. You liar! Vegeta knew his father would never do that, and Frieza was just trying to get under his skin before he killed him. And he was right. It did get to him. Vegeta shouts again, You liar! Get away from me! And it follows with an explosion never seen before. A golden blast of energy surrounds the area, and Vegeta rises to his feet, looking like a prodigy as Frieza jumps away from the impact. He tells Frieza how much he hates him for what he's done, and he doesn't care if he's a Super Saiyan, or if it's a myth, but by his hand alone, he's going to kill Frieza. Right here, right now. Even if it means they both die in this explosion on Namek. Vegeta is so tense, and Frieza notices something changing in Vegeta. He notices this isn't any ordinary ape transformation. Vegeta's hair is flickering golden, and his eyes pulsating with a green hue. The rocks begin to rise around Vegeta, the anger in him burning with a desperation to survive, but also a feeling of not giving a damn anymore. All of the struggles have pushed Vegeta to this moment. We know what is about to happen, and finally, it's over. No Super Saiyan, no comebacks, no happy ending, no ass-pull plot armor drama. Vegeta is dead. Frieza saw an opening in the Saiyan Prince's rage and struck at Vegeta's defenseless body during the transformation, monstrously punching a hole through Vegeta's heart, causing the prince to spit out blood and fall. Oh Vegeta, even if the Super Saiyan of legend was real, do you think I would allow it? You fool. I don't play by the rules when it comes to letting someone power up in front of me to try and take my throne. This isn't a television show relying on drama, you stupid idiot. I'm here to murder you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Though I'll keep this blood-stained fist for the rest of my journey home as a reminder of how much I love you, Vegeta. You truly captured my heart, Vegeta. Which is why I return the favor by ripping out yours. He pulls out the prince's heart. Vegeta falls to the ground, lifeless. Frieza holds the Saiyan heart above his head in glory and crushes it, causing an explosion of blood to drip down Frieza's face in a fatality. He looks at all three bodies around him, feeling very proud of his work, realizing that he has just eliminated the Saiyan and Namekian race and also stopped the Super Saiyan. He wonders what it would have been like to fight it, but didn't really dwell on it, as Frieza was more concerned about maintaining his dominance rather than seek challenges. He flew off to his spaceship with 1 minute to spare. The spaceship lifts off and exits the Namekian atmosphere. Planet Namek's last moment is now. Boom! No more. The bodies of Vegeta, Goku, Piccolo, and everyone else get set ablaze in the destruction. All except Gohan, Krillin, Dende, and Bulma, who had moments before just escaped and were flying away from the explosion in the spaceship. Gohan and Krillin knew that Goku and Piccolo had just died. They are all saddened and felt nothing but grief, knowing there was nothing they could do in this situation. This was the Frieza that King Kai warned them all about. This was the danger that was on Namek that was ignored. This was what would have happened if there was no plot armor, and they knew it. But don't get too comfortable, for on their tail was Frieza's spaceship, a stronger, hardened, more battle-focused ship than the Capsule Corp scrap heap. Frieza cracks up laughing at how perfect this moment is, and he activates the weapon systems and fires 50 missiles at the Capsule Corp spaceship and destroys it, killing Gohan, Krillin, Bulma, and Dende. Frieza sits back and enjoys his nice cup of tea that he so rightfully deserved. A cup with a picture of Tien on it, with the words role model underneath. Frieza didn't get his immortality. He didn't get to sell planet Namek through the trade system. He lost all of his comrades and took a serious beating. Yes, even Frieza can have a tough day at work, but it's okay now. He rests and enjoys a nice cruise towards planet Earth, where he would take over, enslave the humans, and sell the planet in the trade system. Earth had no more heroes to protect it. It belonged to Frieza. And once all the resources were sucked up and the planet was nothing more than a wasteland, he would in time command his troops to destroy the useless rock or use it as target practice. No androids, no Boo resurrection, nothing. He would eventually learn of the planet Vampa and the inhabitants on it, including Paragus and Broly. His army would report potential Saiyans in the area, to which Frieza would take no chances and exterminate the planet from above. Sorry Broly, no plot armor for you. Frieza would remain Emperor of the universe for many years to follow. He would be King of the Mountain, until one terrible day in the Emperor's diary, that Beerus had awoken, in search of the Super Saiyan God. And after learning there is no Super Saiyan God due to there being no more Saiyans, he would finally find the need to hunt down Frieza and kill the beast because he had upset the universal balance. Hence the involvement of a God of Destruction's duties. It would be quick and painless, a simple Hakai, and Beerus would go back to sleep, and in time, Universe 7 would eventually get erased by the Omni King due to there already being talks in the hierarchy grapevine of the poor performance of Universe 7. Thus meaning so does Beerus get erased. And that's okay, scholars, and I truly like a little twist in our what-if stories. A dark turn is always fun to write. I'm getting very bored of all the happy endings and predictable, good guy achieves new form and saves the day. Enough of that uninteresting writing. But I really hope you enjoyed this dark story as much as I enjoyed writing it for you, scholars. At the end of the day, there is only one winner in today's story, and that is Frieza, with his warm cup of Kikoho.